Sip It with your host, Miss Londa. Sip and Talk Podcast. Sip and Talk Podcast. Sip and Talk Podcast. Silence.
Hello, everybody. I am back again, as I told you I would be. And so tonight I am going to be speaking on the story of Lavena Johnson. Lavena Johnson was the daughter of Dr. John Johnson, a service veteran, and Linda Johnson. She was born and grew up in Florissant, Missouri. Uh, the African American honor student was enlisted in the Army immediately after graduating from Hazelwood Central High School. She was deployed to Iraq and stationed in Balad. She had been there for 8 weeks before her death on July 19th of 2005. 8 days before her 20th birthday. Now, Johnson's death was officially ruled a suicide by the Department of Defense. However, her father became suspicious when he saw her body in the funeral home and decided to investigate. Initially, the Army refused to release information, but did so under the Freedom of Information Act. At the Representative William Lacey Clay Jr. raised questions about it at the congressional hearings over Pat Tillman's death. The autopsy report and photographs revealed Johnson had a broken nose, black eye, loose teeth, burns from a corrosive chemical on her genitals, and a gunshot wound that seemed inconsistent with suicide. Several reporters have suspected that the chemical burns were the result of attempts to destroy DNA evidence of a sexual assault. Additionally, bloody footprints were discovered outside of the living quarters. A spokesman from the House Armed Services Committee said the committee was looking into Johnson's death, but they were not yet committing to a formal investigation in June 2008. Christopher Gray, Chief of Public Affairs for the U.S. Criminal Investigative Command for the Army, has said that the case remains closed as far as they are concerned. Following a February 2007 news report on Johnson's death online in an online petition addressed to the House Armed Service Committee and the Senate Armed Services Committee was launched, closing with 37,319 supporters. This was followed by the creation of an official Lavena Johnson website dedicated to developments and prompting a new Army investigation of her death. The petition closed on May 24, 2008, with nearly 12,000 signatures. Preparations are being made for the delivery to the two committees. In July 2008, the online Black activist group launched another online petition calling Henry Waxman, chair of House Oversight Committee, to conduct a hearing into Lavena Johnson's death and Army's handling of her case and others like it. Give me 1 second here. Okay. And others like it. A documentary film about Lavena Johnson's family struggle for justice was made in 2010, directed by Joanne Booker, entitled Lavena Johnson, The Silent Truth. On July 19, 2011, the criminal justice students in the Cold Case Investigative Research Institute, run as a student club by 3 universities, selected Johnson's case as their case for investigation. The CCIRIS crime scene reconstruction aimed to help shed light on this case that has attracted worldwide attention. The CCIR, the CCIRI investigation did not agree with nor dispute the Army's findings. Shira McCollum of the Cold Case Investigative Research Institute calls the case gut wrenching. McCollum says the institute normally spends 1 year on a research on a case, but spent 3 years on Lavena Johnson's case. In a phone interview with St. Louis Public Radio, McCollum said that she faults the Army for poor communication, but she does not disagree with its conclusion. The problem is, number one, the way the notification happened and the lack of information given to that family fast enough. McCollum said there was nothing about this case that we would that we could go back to the Army to say you need to relook at it. She said we didn't have anything new, we didn't have anything that suggested wrongdoing. In May 2022, YouTube's Dreading Crime and Psychology channel aired a documentary titled The Case of Lavena Johnson. Dreading the documentary included details about Johnson's childhood and also the partially blacked out death investigation filed from the military. The narrator urged viewers to sign a petition urging the military to reopen the case, pointing out that other videos on the case already had millions of views and thus reflected an ongoing legacy of importance. The video pointed out details of the case that were disturbing, mainly that Johnson's body had been severely mutilated physically and sexually, and that this was found out upon military investigation. So, I would like to know or hear from viewers your personal opinion in this case and what you guys think and feel, should have been done. Like, I don't understand how there wasn't a more investigation. What it sounds like to me, and this is just my personal opinion, but it sounds like the Army is covering up for something or someone. I don't know. They said she was sexually assaulted. She had bruises. There was burns on her body from some type of a chemical. So if she committed suicide, where did all that come from? Where did that evidence come from? And why isn't it not being looked into further? That's my question. Um, I would like to know what anybody else thinks. Please comment your, you know, thoughts. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment to the channel. Share. So yeah, this has to be really hard for her family, and this is 16 years later. They're still, wondering, like, what happened with their child. Um, and no one's trying to reopen the case. No one's trying to look into it and find out any, further details into what happened with Lavena. Give me 1 second, I'm pulling up something. Yeah, so 16 years later, family maintains daughter was murdered while stationed in Iraq. Um, Army Private Lavena Johnson called home every day while she was deployed in Iraq. Her last conversation with her parents was on July 17th, 2005. She excitedly told them she would be home. She would probably be able to come home for Christmas. She told them not to decorate the tree until she got home, or the tree until she got home. Lavena's mother, Linda Johnson, told Dateline we said we'd wait for her. Of course, she was so happy to be coming home, but she would never make it home. It was around 7 a.m. on the morning of July 19, 2005, when the doorbell rang at the door at the Johnson home in Florissant, Missouri. There was a soldier on the front porch Linda told Dateline he told us Lavena was dead, and he said, well, he said she was killed. She killed herself. The Johnsons could not believe what they were hearing in a documentary released in 2010. Lavena's father, Dr. John Johnson, said he remembers watching the soldier thinking he was a statue. His wife, Linda, continued to scream and cry behind him. Nothing made sense to them. They had just spoken with Lavena days earlier. She told him she was about to start a new job on the base. Her outfit, the 129th Corps Support Battalion, will be rotating back to the United States in a few months, allowing her to be home for Christmas. She'd be home to help decorate the tree with her younger sister, a family tradition. The daughter had only been in Iraq 6 weeks when the soldier appeared at the front door that summer morning. Lavina's mother told Dateline that the devastating news that their daughter was gone was shocking enough, but when they were told it appeared to be self-inflicted, the information was almost too much to take. I felt my whole life slip away right there, Linda said, remembering how she broke down in tears. She would never do this. Our Lavena would never do this to herself. Someone did this. Someone took her from us. An official investigation launched by the U.S. Army was launched by the U.S. Army, and yet and still they have any answers. And it's 16 years later. Christopher Gray, Chief of Public Affairs for the Criminal Investigation Command, said in a statement to Dateline that Lavena Johnson's death was a tragic suicide. The ruling was something her family has never believed, and for the past 16 years, Lavena's father has been on a mission to find his own answers to what happened to his daughter. His daughter, who took after him in so many ways. She looked like her dad, acted like her dad. Everything Linda told Dateline, she wanted to be just like him. To honor the honor student's decision to join the army as it was influenced by her father's own career path. Her mother told Dateline. Dr. Johnson served in the army for 3 years. He went on to college, earned a doctorate in psychology. Both he and Linda had civilian jobs in troop support for the army. They have 5 children, and when Lavena decided to join the army to pay for college, they were hesitant but supportive. In July 2005, instead of celebrating a birthday, their daughter was buried with military honors. Jefferson Barracks National Cemetery in St. Louis. She was promoted to private first class and awarded good conduct and condemnation medals. After the Army's investigation into Lavena's death, her parents began their own, convinced she would never take her own life and that murder was a cover up. The murder was covered up. Investigators concluded that Lavena had shot herself in the mouth with her M16 rifle in a contractor's tent on the base. The report included witness testimony suggesting that she may have been depressed over a recent breakup, according to Chris Gray. We express our sincere condolences to the family and friends of PFC Johnson. We have and continue to take the death of Lavena Johnson very seriously, Gray said. Our lengthy and very thorough investigation by highly trained special agents is based in fact, testimonial evidence, physical evidence, and forensic evidence. The independent autopsy findings by the Armed Forces Medical Examiner's Office came to the same conclusion. Tragically, there are many misrepresentations of facts being circulated on the internet that are false and unsubstantiated. Lavena's parents dispute the Army's conclusion and believe the findings were flawed because her death was investigated as a suicide, not a homicide. They told Dateline their daughter had been happy and healthy. They said that her arms were too short, that she couldn't have shot herself with her rifle. They also added that the wound in her head was too small to have been made by an M16. Dr. Johnson demanded to see the evidence and filed Freedom of Information requests and enlisted the assistance of local legislators. He formed his own investigation team, gathering family members with criminal science expertise. For years, they pored over document statements and autopsy photos. In 2007, the family had Lavena's body exhumed for an independent autopsy. Her mother told Dateline the results were inconclusive. They plucked out part of my heart. Dr. Johnson said in the 2010 documentary, I can't get it back, but I'm going to fight until I get justice for her. We're just going to keep doing what we can to keep our story alive. While Dr. Johnson has fought for answers in his daughter's death for 16 years, it has slowed this year due to his recent hospitalization. That's sad. But his wife told Dateline that he refuses to give up and continues to fight. While in the hospital, he never misses a chance to tell someone, a nurse, a doctor, about Lavena. After a 16-year long nightmare, now we're going through this, Linda said. Her death has really taken a toll on her father. They are hoping someone will come forward with information that will push the CID to reopen the investigation. In this email to Dateline, Christopher Gray of Criminal Investigation Command said the Army stands by its findings, but added that investigators would reopen the investigation should credible information surface. Lavena was the first female soldier from Missouri to die in Iraq. She died just days before her 20th birthday in 2005, 1 year after graduating from high school. Last week on July 27th in 2021, she would have turned 36 years old. Family members, local politicians, and the community of Florissant gathered for a balloon release to honor her on this day. It's important that her name is not forgotten, Linda said. She deserves better. She deserves justice. Anyone with information about Lavena's case should contact the U.S. Army Criminal Investigation Command, and there's a number, your local military office, or submit tips. So there we have it, you guys. If you guys would like to comment or share your opinions, please feel free to do so in the comment section below. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share the video. I thank you guys who may end up watching and seeing this. Tune in. I have shows weekly. I have a show coming up on Wednesday, 6 p.m. I'm going to be doing an interview with a young lady who was a victim of the police officer who has recently been convicted and it has been sentenced to 25 years to life for the rape of a young lady in Atlanta, Lithonia. He was a police officer of the Lithonia Police Department. I am going to be doing an interview with one of the other victims that he also had raped. So, guys, please tune in 6 o'clock p.m. Wednesday. Thank you again. You all have a good night.